Now then guys, today we have been very kindly invited by Charles Fawcett and Helen to film the lightweight in here, which is up for sale, and one of you guys could buy it if you wanted to. The Land Rover Lightweight was a lighter version of the Series 2 and Series 3 models. It was designed to be air portable so that it could be lifted by helicopters in the army. Many lightweights had a 24-volt system so that they could have FFR in the back, and that means fit for radio, so that they could have big radios. And as you can see around on this side, this here is a radio box, so the aerial would have been right up so that you can talk to other members of the army. On the lightweights, there was 3 different choices of roofs. There was the hard top, which wasn't really common on the army ones, but they were mainly fitted after when they were in civilian use. The soft top, which was mainly used, and no roof, same as this example, which is in twisted. And as you can see, there's radio aerial up on there with the guns all in back, and this one is actually a fit for radio as well. If you can see all the radio boxes all in there. In 1968, the Series 2A lightweight was first introduced, and then in 1970, the headlights were moved from the grille onto the wings. In 1972, the Series 3 lightweight was introduced. The difference between the Series 3 and the 2A was the synchromesh gearbox on all 4 forward gears, rather than on the Series 2, it was in just 3rd and 4th. The Series 3 was introduced in 1972. Now, for all of you Series 3 owners, which I am, you'll know that the Series 3 was introduced in 1971. The reason why the lightweight was introduced in 1972 was because it was basically using up all the Series 2A parts, and then once it had all run out, they moved on to making the Series 3s, which this one I think might be an example of, because I can't really see the number plate because it's covered up by the old cinema sign. In 1976, a diesel engine was offered to be put into a lightweight. Some of them chose to do this, but many of them just stayed with the petrols. Rover tried several times to try and make a Army Land Rover. However, the only one which passed the experimental stages was the lightweight. The prototype of the lightweight was first drawn out in 1965, and then from then was then put into test stages, and then what became the lightweight was introduced. On the lightweight, the bumper, bonnet, spare wheels and the side panels were all made to be taken off on the field so that they could be lifted into the sky by the helicopters. In total, only 2,989 lightweights were produced, and then in 1972, the Series 3 lightweight was introduced. At this point, the lightweight was becoming global. Everyone in the army wanted one. They were supplied to countries such as Hong Kong, Belgium, Holland, Saudi Arabia, etc. But sadly, in 1985, the lightweight stopped being produced and was replaced by the Defender 90. The last claimed lightweight to be used by the army was in 2009 when they sold all of their fleet. The Honourable Artillery Company in London used many lightweights. Used these. They had chrome bumpers, white spare wheel covers, white seats in the back. They had chrome hubs. This example is for sale at Twisted Automotive, the old cinema in Thirsk. It's £24,990, and she's one hell of a rig. Guns all in there. I think they're, what guns are they? Alan Pelk said. Airsoft guns. And in the back I have another gun in here. Fake guns, like I just want to say. This one here is anyway. FFR kit all in the back. Camo as well. Boxes on the side for bullets. And it's one hell of a rig. Imagine driving down to a pub on a Sunday night in this rig. One hell of a thing to get everyone talking. She's also on Wolf wheels as well, on Michelin tyres. What size are they? 750's been 16.
They say the old days are dead and gone. I ain't so sure that they got that wrong. I got a V8 underneath me, riding out the highway like it's the Wild West these days. I ain't got a six-shooter or wanted sign. I keep breaking limits, baby, time after time. They call me reckless, they say I don't fit. Guess I'm just some kind of matinee, Nelly the Kid. Come on. TV is quiet, it's all absence great.
Here is a TD5 Twisted. It was one of the first Twisted vehicles to be made by Charles Fawcett on his driveway. I listened to a podcast and this was mentioned in it. It's 90, it's on the Twisted rims. It's some beast. This is immaculate, this is. Has 4 seats in back. And there is the interior from the front. This here is a Twisted shop. You can buy Yeti Twisted merchandise. There's another flask on there as well, and a Twisted bag, and a Twisted coat hook on there, and more Yeti Twisted branded flasks. Pens. These pens are very good. These were featured on the HLRA podcast. Sticker sets. These were also featured. Key rings. All of ones that anyone could possibly want. Chimney stickers. Caps as well, in a wide range of different colours. Twisted travel bags. And then around here you have the Twisted cafe section. So you have many tables, more Yeti branded flasks and mugs and cups. At the moment, they are just having a bit of a switch round of the Land Rovers, so this is empty, but normally there are Twisted Land Rovers in here, and I'll put some pictures in of how it normally looks. And here you have some of the Landies done by Twisted. You have the cafe and coffee shop, which Helen runs. You have a wide selection of cakes and scones, which Helen makes. And then HLRA podcast sign with the QR code as well. And then you can just come out and you can see the artwork that's actually on the cafe. Look at that. There you have the menu. And obviously the old cinema. And then here you have one of the best seats ever. It's a Fender rear tub with a bench in. Perfect. And I think these bits here might even be storage sections as well. And here you have manuals of all the different Land Rovers. So here you have a Range Rover Classic and then another Range Rover. Forward control manual on there as well. Jamie Oliver as well. He's bought some Land Rovers from here. You have a selection of colours of most of the Twisted ones. They also do Raptor coating as well. As you can see, Raptor finish. All of the colours that you could possibly want are all here. That's Keswick green as well. But yeah, Bahama gold as well there. All of the colours that anyone could ever want, you can have. Twisted Automotive. So then guys, thank you very much for watching this video at Twisted the Old Cinema. Thank you very much to Helen and Charlie Fawcett for letting me and Lucas film here on the Lightweight. Such a great place to call in. And make sure that you guys go and check out Twisted Automotive on Instagram, TikTok and on YouTube. Great content to watch and they're just great guys. Thanks for watching and the podcast should be coming out tomorrow.